to another edition of Bob DeGree's Audio Stories. This week has been a pretty incredible week. Got the book launch at Phoenix Books was nothing short of outstanding. The whole thing seems kind of surreal to me right now. And in a few days I'll be flying across the country to pick up my car and driving back, stopping and chatting about my book along the way. It should be even more good news. So, speaking of that, the next story is called Not All News is Good. It's a story about regret. It's a story about learning, growing, trying to reconnect, trying to put things back in the jar that were spilled selfishly. And anyways, it's called Not All News is Good. Oh, by the way, this is one for you all to figure out. I call these stories a story with a hole in it. And I'm hoping that you all can write in the comments what you think happened in this story. And at some point I will reveal in those comments what I actually did. How's that? So anyways, not all news is good. An older man sits at his table, waiting impatiently, tapping his longer than average fingernails against the surface. Concern clouds his face along with a lack of confidence, as he fears she won't show up. He hasn't seen her in years. This is their first meeting since he split the family apart for selfish reasons. He has longed to explain what he has regretted the most of his time away. His mind drifts back to the day that she was born, and a smile crosses his face. Those were good times, he thinks. How did I let this slip away? The morning he left is still etched in his soul. Tears run down his face as he reflects. It wasn't another woman or man he chose, but something far more intoxicating. He pounds his worn fists against the table, angry at himself, then slips his hand inside his button-down shirt and pulls out something, holding it tightly in his right hand. The gesture seems to bring him a measure of peace. He now understands that true love is unconditional, forgiving, and unbound by circumstance. He hopes that if and when she arrives, she will feel the same. He watches each minute crawl by, stretching to what seems to be eternity. What will she look like? Will she still have that innocent smile he once loved? His thoughts turn to the explanation he has prepared, and like most men, he is tempted to embellish it to serve his own need for redemption. A few minutes later, a member of the waitstaff drops off a note. His reaction is muted, and I find myself wishing I could read it. Moments later, a young woman walks in. My eyes struggle to decide whose reaction to follow. She moves slowly and deliberately toward the man. I assume it is her father, and asks him to step outside. They rise and walk out the front door. Through the window, I can see them talking. Then the father begins to tremble, visibly shaken, before breaking down in tears. The only sound that carries inside is the shrill cry of his voice screaming, "No!" at the top of his lungs as he collapses to his knees in the street. So that's Not All News is Good. I wrote that in Key West some years ago. I really would be interested in what you think. So please comment below. The next one is my ode to people who have struggled with the demon that is alcoholism, and how much love and respect that I have for them. It's called The Beast Within. My name is John. To the outside world, I appear a normal, functioning person. I smile and return greetings when somebody passes by. I pay my bills on time, and for the most part, I follow the social norms. But deep within my soul, there is a beast, one that dwells in the darkness and thrives on risk. It is a place where I find excitement, where my euphoria intensifies and makes me feel invincible. This is not a place I can reside most of the time because it would shorten my life. It's just a place to visit. Like how it feels great to scratch an itch, but no one wants to do it continually until you're bloody. I have to find a way out to a place of calmness where the placid waters of my life satiate my soul and remove the risk from my emotional portfolio. The journey starts and ends with tripping on unseen obstacles, trip lines that I have laid by my past actions. I'm now trying to rebuild the foundation that has been teetering on the edge of collapse for most of my life. I find that I am wavering between strengthening the foundation I already have or tearing it all down and starting over. This decision is made more difficult by my inability to settle and commit on either side of the teeter-totter. The distraction of the beast is never that far away. They say to take one day at a time, but the darkness of that animal lurks around every corner, waiting for the slightest opportunity to slip through the cracks of my unstable foundation into my life and create chaos. Chaos it sometimes tries to convince me that I need. Time and time again, I fall and slide down that slippery slope of intrigue and excitement that makes me feel the thing that is missing. That it is the thing that is missing from my life. I should know better, but the dark beast can be quite convincing. I realize now that this walk will be a lifetime journey if I truly intend to banish the darkness for good. But I also know that if I let my guard down, even for a moment, the beast will find its way back and slowly begin to destroy my soul, piece by piece. I need to find virtual centurions to guard the vulnerabilities I know exist within me. There are many who want me to slay the beast, but there are also those who would prefer I succumb. I know I must surround myself with the former. So wish me good luck. But what I really need is good love and grace in order to make up for my past and forge a new direction forward. One with less excitement and risk. One with more love and redemption. I know I will fail, but that's part of the process. Learning where the weaknesses are in your life structure is the only way to repair and stabilize your foundation. Repair them and stabilize your foundation. My goal is to build a structure strong enough to withstand any storm the beast can throw at me. Love, grace, and forgiveness to all, including me. There you go. 2 stories again this week. Hallelujah! Anyways, it's Friday, and back on the Friday schedule, and I leave on Tuesday. It will be exciting, hopefully, to see some of you on the road. That last story was a personal one. I have many friends and loved ones that struggle with that beast. And they don't deserve to be shunned. They deserve to be held up on a pedestal and celebrated for their guts and their ability to face the darkness and know that there's light behind those clouds. They're my heroes. I keep saying heroes, but there's a lot of folks in this world that are heroic. But I want to say people who are sober or are challenging themselves with sobriety, they're the most heroic people in the world. Because everybody in the world thinks somehow alcohol is not a demon, but it is. Anyways, I'll be talking to you probably next Friday from like Salt Lake City or Denver, maybe. And I look forward to sharing the journey back across and meeting more and more people. That's a big part of why I'm doing this. Anyways, again, it's Friday, and I love you, and God bless.